What's going on, everyone? It's Mitch from RespectMyRegion.com, back with another episode of the North American Weed Tour podcast. We're looking at the best in legal cannabis across the map. Today, we're joined by special guests out of the Nevada market, but they got a product servicing 48 of the 50 states as well. I got Kenny Cottrell and I got Chris Rasta Johnnson joining us from CannaLean. How you guys doing today?
Oh, blessed, man. We're blessed.
Blessed and highly favored, bro.
Hey, now.
I dig it, man. Well, we're all going to be hanging out in Las Vegas here in a couple weeks at the Hush House Vegas party. We'll talk about that a little bit, along with some of this unique product you guys got cooking. But first, I kick off every episode with an introduction to our guest origin story with cannabis. So Kenny, we'll start with you, and then we'll pass the mic / joint to Rasta over there. I'm just curious, when you and cannabis started your relationship, whether that's personal or professional, or a little bit of both.
First time smoking was actually after my father's funeral. My dad died when I was 12, and I have a cousin, he lives down in Vegas too. He's 5 years older than me. He's like, well, I gotta smoke because your dad just died, so you gotta smoke this joint. And it worked. Since then, I've been smoking ever since. Can't say anything bad about it. Really got into cannabis when I was after college. I was running my own real estate company, and my business partner was like, "Dude, you're too on edge. You need to chill out." So he just started buying weed, and I started smoking. I became a way nicer person. Stop yelling at people. Stop screaming. And I'm just a nice, happy guy. I can care less. As long as we move in the right direction, I'm pretty happy. But before, I was just like be yelling like a tyrant.
He called you down. Chris, what about you, man? When did you and cannabis start your journey?
Oh, man, I think I smoked one of my pops' roaches when I was like 11, honestly. I'm the youngest in my family, so seeing everybody's growing, I don't know. I want to do what they were doing, but I really got into it I'd say when I got out of high school. When I got into college and kind of got on my own, and I was doing my own shit and was able to go to school, go to work, and then really appreciate a joint when I got off of work and school. Like, it was different than just being a stoner in high school. It's the first time I got to appreciate it as a professional, and it was nice.
I can dig that, man. I'm very much, whether it's cannabis or anything, I feel like I can't quite relax until like work is done, or I do work, like even on like a Saturday, I can't just sitting down and relaxing. It doesn't fulfill me. I feel like I got to accomplish something, and then like I earn it or whatever. So I feel
it makes the smoke better. I don't know why, man, but it just does. It totally does.
It's good for me to calm down. I need to just relax. I'm still at work going 100 miles an hour, but just to be able to relax and not think about work for a second. That's why I really appreciate marijuana the best. And for sleep. Definitely sleep.
Absolutely.
Definitely for sleep. Yeah.
And Kenny, while you were working in real estate, obviously, like you said, some of your colleagues were aware of it, but do you feel like you still had to, kind of hide the cannabis due to the stigma, pretty much, like from people you work with and clients in that space? Or
so I basically started my own company at 19, so I really had my real first boss until 28 when I went into insurance and finance, and even then I used to buy weed from them, so they didn't really care. I learned a long time ago in professional setting, majority of these guys are degenerates. They all want to smoke weed, do other recreational drugs. As long as you show up on time. And the first thing I remember when I worked on my summer on Wall Street, I worked for Goldman Sachs for a summer. They said, know how to control your own drugs. That's how they said, if you don't know how to control the drug, don't. And I tell people that all the time. I'm notorious for giving people drugs at my own job, but if you don't show the work, I fire you the next day. So,
yeah, make them money, don't make problems, right? And then it'll all be cool. Rasta, what about you? Your professional background outside of CannaLean? I know you had told me what you were by trade before this. I already forgot that title. But break it down for me, man.
Must have been smelling that new weed, man. That's 7 days a week, some gas, man. I'm a certified organic chemist. So I got a degree in organic chemistry from Cal State Fullerton. Did internships at pharmaceutical companies and stuff. And that's where I kind of learned how to make CannaLean. So it's a real pharmaceutical grade type syrup that's just, instead of, cough suppressants and intoxicants, it's just cannabis, it's a sugar-free, vegan, plant-based organic syrup that has no allergens. It's fits in every dietary restriction. It's keto friendly. It's one of the healthiest products out there, and it affects you in 10 minutes. You know, it was all about me. I literally took the information I got from college and internships and just found a way to turn it into cannabis because I really love cannabis. You know, I could work in science, but to like own a company and work, it would have to be cannabis. I love this shit.
And for why go in the syrup route when you were thinking of a product to make? Like, was there a couple iterations or things before that, or did you just have
So
the idea this was the
I
idea?
always got in trouble for smelling like weed. Like nobody cared that I was high. Like it wasn't that because I was always intelligent. I'm a straight A student. Like it was never a question of me being high, but they cared that I smelled like weed. It was weird as fuck. It was weird to me. So I was like, what if I can? My thought was like, if you had to smoke alcohol, you probably wouldn't consume it as much. If you had to like smell like alcohol and like smoke the whole process and do it and combust it and smoke, probably wouldn't be as accepted in many places. So I was like, what if we can drink cannabis the same way? And it was turned like a whole process of how can we just not be make it more socially acceptable. You know, and then I went and fucked around and called it CannaLean, thinking like, you know, sugar-free, vegan, plant-based, not realizing people would think of syrup called lean and think of it that direction. You know, man, we went in circles with this shit, but we're here now.
I love that. So you weren't even thinking of playing off the word lean initially.
Bro, I was thinking like lean cuisine. I was thinking like what's like the healthy version of cannabis? It's sugar-free, vegan, plant, and no one even no one even heard it. It went right over people's head, and I was like, oh shit. Well, you know what? Fuck it, let's go with it. You know, let's go with it.
And when was it when you started developing this product?
So I got the internship at the end of 2012, and then I had the product developed probably like beginning of 2013, and then the first bottles I made and produced and sold were at the end of 2013.
Yeah, so that was early. So beverages weren't out like, you know.
Nobody even knew what to do with it. Nobody even knew. Like people were just taking it by the tablespoon by itself. They didn't understand the process of how to like make a beverage and consume a drink because my product actually coats your throat on the way down. So it's very pharmaceutical-like. So it's not going to digest in your stomach and take 45 minutes. It takes 10 minutes. So people can put this in a beverage and get high in 10 minutes and not have to do the whole waiting 45 hours. People didn't get it. It took a while to kick in the process to really develop for people. You know, smoking something your whole life and then going to drinking it, it's a little awkward. I can't lie. You know, it totally is. But hey, luckily people caught on. It's spreading really fast.
Yeah, and that's thanks in part to recreation, right? Because 2013 is still dealing with the medical markets. Obviously, at that point is when dabs really like concentrates really started to like build out at that time. You know, I don't even think people were using rosin then, right? Like it was more shatter and wax and shit at that.
Oh yeah, yeah. So because I have a degree in organic chemistry, I was doing a lot of extractions for people. That's where I got a lot of my material from. So because I had access to a laboratory that was allowing me to do extractions in there, like I had a real butane extraction set up with a real lab equipment back then, you know, before they even existed. It gave me a good start on the whole industry side of it, to be honest.
And Kenny, when did you get into the picture? When did you guys meet? What was your first impression of it?
Almost a year ago. Almost a year ago in November, we met at the Chamber of Cannabis meeting. My background is accounting in business development. I worked for 2 tech companies. In the Atlanta Tech Village, where we got both with the market, where one got exited at $4 million, the other one got exited at $20 million. And when I moved to Vegas to go to grad school at UNLV, and I was working with another guy with like CBD product, and I met Chris there, talked about it, and then me and the guy fell out. It's like, I said, Chris, I can really help you out with your product. I know a lot about business development for my tech industry, and to me, Nevada doesn't have a good tech industry here, but they have a great cannabis industry. And cannabis and tech are really the same thing we talk about from a business standpoint. It's about getting into new markets, getting into expanding into getting new markets and just expanding the product. So I looked out and me and him got along great. So it was like, let's work together. And from there, we went from about 10, 11 stores. Now we're about 37 stores here in Nevada. In not even a year. It'll be a year next week.
And what was your first impression of the product, man? Obviously, as a long-time lover of cannabis.
I took the product and it was just me taking the product, but it was my girlfriend. So my girlfriend was Chris. She's probably the biggest CannaLean supporter. She ended up buying one. I said, oh, she bought something from the dispensary. And he said, oh, are you going to see Chris today? I think I was doing some financial stuff for him. And he's like, yeah. He's like, oh, pick up that case of CannaLean. A case? He's like, yes, I bought a case from Chris. Give me a great price. I was like, huh. Then
It's
and
it was funny because she had been buying it for a while before I met him. So like the fact that it crossed together was pretty funny.
Yeah. She buys a lot of CannaLean. She still buys a lot of CannaLean.
And so you met because your girl was as a customer.
No, see, we met at a Chamber of Cannabis meeting, but like the way it worked out, like I had known Lauren for a minute, his girl before then. So, like the fact that we had just met, and I ran this company by myself for 9 years. So like I didn't bring any, like, I know cannabis and chemistry, but I don't know business, and he knows a lot about business, and that's like, it's just funny how it all worked out.
Yeah. Like I said, Lauren used to work for Curaleaf, and she was like always finding the best of the best cannabis products. She's a weed connoisseur. And she said, this is the best cannabis beverage because she likes same thing. She wants to go to soccer games to watch her godson play soccer, or she wants to go to yoga, and she don't want to smell like weed. So she will just take a bottle of CannaLean. Now literally there's a bottle of CannaLean everywhere we go.
keeping it
discreet. I can't go to sleep without it though. I cannot go to sleep without CannaLean. Especially right now because I'm in grad school taking Adderall. It's the best way to come off my Adderall high. Or my Adderall was working. Because I'm used to just crashing. With taking CannaLean, it just puts me out where I'm sleeping. I wake up rested, not like feel like I'm burnt out.
So because I have variations. So I have like daytime ones with CBD, and I have night times with CBN and myrcene. So I do combinations of both. I really like not just like help you fall asleep, help you stay asleep. You know, because everybody can get high and fall asleep, but a lot of people wake up 3-4 hours later. You know, I have products that have delayed reactions that it can help you stay asleep, and that's one of my most beneficial products we have out here.
Yeah, get the blue bottle. You want to sleep, get the blue bottle. Best thing on the market.
That's night. And then so is it are you using like RSO or is it nano emulsified or what's the
so I do not do nano emulsifications just because I believe it's I've had bad reactions from it. I've had hangovers off of nano emulsifications because the molecules are so small, they get stuck in your system. When you fall asleep, you wake up, you'll be high all over again. And people don't want to wake up with a hangover. You know, it's kind of why you're smoking weed and not have the hangover. You know, it's kind of the difference. So it's I do distillate and I do live resin. We do rosin infusion that we're about to launch with different companies, collaborations, and every variation above it. So like CBG, we do CBD with CBG and CBN. So like every combination you can think of, I've tried to do in a syrup form in different flavors. You know, so you can add it to everything from water to coffee to lemonade, smoothies. People make protein shakes with our unflavored one because it doesn't change the flavor of anything. You know, just it's limitless.
And so you said because it's of some of those pharmaceutical tricks, right? Yes, I'm degrading the terminology to the word tricks. No disrespect, but some of the pharmaceutical methods that coat your throat. Is that why the onset is so because it's entering the bloodstream through the throat? Then
much faster, yes. So most of the time when you have to, your liver has to process it actually turns THC into a different chemical. That's why you get so sleepy and so tired. So my products affect you more like you're smoking flower than you're eating an edible.
Okay. Yeah. I had someone come on here, a cannabis scientist, and that's what we were talking about, the fundamental differences of getting high. And like, you know, as a long time consumer, I get it, right? I get a different high because different, you know, whether it's a bong, a blunt, right? Everything hits you a little bit different. And they were telling me like, yo, you actually build different tolerance based on the medium. And then they had told me that the consumption, it's eating it, it's not, eating or drinking it, right? It's not that it turns to a different molecule. So it's just affecting you 100% different from how you're
totally different. Yeah.
And so
cannabis science is so much fun.
Yeah. They were breaking it. They were taking some stuff that was out there, but they really smoke. So it was like, okay, like much like yourself, right? Like obviously you're very well educated on subjects that I know nothing of, right? But because you smoke and I smoke, we can at least have I can pick up
there.
Yeah, you can speak some high level stuff and I'll pick up how it relates to getting high, right? That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So you guys are for sale in the Nevada market and then sell CBD, you know, as we mentioned earlier, 48 states. When you first entered the market, did you see more and this might be a question for both you guys, you see more, business upside with the CBD and going the nationwide scale, or more of that kind of focused nuance, kind of state by state with the THC products?
The CBD took a minute. So because it was new to everybody, especially being new as a beverage syrup at CBD, like it was kind of offsetting to people. Just they didn't know how to use it. Even though we could explain it with the product, the directions are on the bottle still, it was just confusing for them to use. So the THC was always consistent. It gets people high. That's what they're looking for. People want to get high. CBD is more medicine, it's not an immediate medicine. It takes time, but it really does work. So its audience is going to take a minute to actually build up and grow. So the THC, of course, it's going to be great state to state. People are going to love getting high. It's going to be the CBD, I believe CBD should be a vitamin. If you look on the breakdown on it, what it actually does and how it actually activates, it's very close to a vitamin. So 10, 15 years down the road, I believe CBD would actually be in vitamin, and we'll be selling vitamin beverages and vitamin stuff like that. It's totally different. But it's finally taken off. People are finally getting onto CBD now. And we went from, selling it in 3 states to, it was like 15. I was like, oh shit, we're in 15 states. Then it hit 48. I was like, wait, we've only missed 2 states, Alaska and I think Vermont. No. Yeah, nope, we got Idaho. We got one in Boise. I know we did. I sent it out myself. It's but we're the THC is always gonna be very consistent because people want to get high. With the CBD, it's gonna be the future, especially with the other cannabinoids like CBG, CBN, and knowing how to medicinally change the effects and actually make you feel a specific way. THC, it's gonna get you high. With CBD, CBG, CBN, I can make you feel 40 different ways and cure a list of things that's longer than I can pronounce. So CBD is picking up, but THC, that they believe, is always going to be the consistent money maker if you're looking at that side of it.
Yeah, I think once the CBD, when we actually start really marketing the CBD in all the states, they can get on with big retailers. It has crazy growth potential, though.
It's amazing. The effects and studies are amazing.
Yeah, I like I said, we got a lot of focus right on the THC and rolling out to these next couple of states. But the CBD, as we got everything going, it's definitely going to be a good money maker. I like the way it probably, everyone likes it. Everybody tells me they like it for after hangovers. They go out partying. They call me the next day. Say, Kenny, I took that the CannaLean light, as they like to call it, the CannaLean light, and I took it. I feel great in the morning. They're like, they go put in their smoothie, and they're coming back feeling great, like nothing happened.
Yeah, that's that crucial. If you can consume cannabis and then not interact with your with your daily life, and that's a big issue of smoking weed. Even as a longtime weed smoker, I smoke every day. I smoke before I go to bed for sure, pretty much every day. But I also have on my work days or the school days for little man, I kind of have my cutoff, right, where I'm not trying to smoke too much at a certain point because I know I'm gonna wake up a little groggy or have a hard time getting out of bed, man.
Yeah.
I
couldn't go a 30-minute interview without smoking. Fuck it.
Yeah.
What do you feel like are most consumers? So we were talking about it beforehand, like in Nevada, there's 100 milligram limit per package on the recreational market. Do you feel like most consumers, obviously you don't have access to all this data, right? Like once consumers do with it, what everyone does with it past retail, I'm sure you get some of that feedback. Are a lot of people kind of spacing this out and dosing it, taking smaller doses, or you think a lot of people are using it kind of in a more high dose?
They're knocking the whole 100 thing back. They're literally, people are grabbing 3 at a time. We do deals, like 3 for $20 or some shit like that. They'll grab all 3 and knock them back. And I'm just like, this is because the people who are making regulations aren't understanding the customers. These longtime customers, 100 milligrams isn't shit to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's. In a lot of recreational markets where 100 milligram products are new, they're $22 for a 100 milligram product. That's not going to do shit for me. So I'm paying $44 to even get a little buzz off an edible. Like, I'd rather get an eighth and roll the whole thing. Like, fuck, come on, man. Like, that's not, they're not understanding the actual consumer. And I think that's the problem because we have this separation of like church and state, if you want to say it like that. But it's people not understanding what we actually consume, making limits. Like, you can only purchase 3.5 grams of concentrates out here at a time. That's the max. I'm not to sound like that, but that's a session for me and my buddies. You know what I'm saying? That's a fucking, let me get 3.5 grams of rosin. We'll knock that back in a sitting, fucking 4 puff codes out, knock it back. But that's my limit for the day. And it's like, come on now, for real smokers, that's not.
Yeah, I mean, real consumers or patients, right? Because that's the other part. Like a lot of people that are going to take like a beverage, right, whether it's CannaLean or something else, are potentially not trying to smoke, right? And but they need slash want or slash need that THC, right, to deal with their ailments as a medical consumer, right? It's a very popular product type for that. And like you're saying, like terminal ill cancer patient that's going through some severe chemo and pains, right? Like they might need 500 to 1,000 milligrams a day, you know?
Yeah, we max out at 3,500 milligrams. You're telling me like if she has to do cancer patient has to do 1,000 milligrams at a time, and they're doing 2-3 doses a day, they have to come back every day to get their medicine. Come on, now they can't get a monthly work. Like it's a if any other industry ever did this, they would lose their shit. You know, if you ever regulated anybody else like this and taxed them the way you do us, like they would lose their shit. But because we're still federally illegal, they have this power over us. We can't even fucking.
I mean, think of that liquor restrictions, man. You can only buy a pint a day, man. Damn, we'd have a lot more people alive, bro, if it was like that. But you know,
I'm just saying, if you're gonna do it for us, do it for everybody else. I'd be cool, but don't have us being the only ones that have to do this, and we're the safest one out of everybody.
Definitely the safest. Crime rate went down to legalize cannabis.
Everywhere they do it, it goes down. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
except for LA, but we're just going. LA is LA. We ain't gonna worry about that.
There's some other variables there that the cannabis can't quite, you know, calm people down, right?
We can't fix that. We can't fix all those, man.
Yeah,
we try, but we can't do all of them, man.
But see, that's unique, that conversation, right? Because like, I was telling you guys beforehand, like I live in Washington. We have the 100 milligram cap here for edibles or for beverages. And that's the most popular beverage sold in Washington is a little like 1.5 ounce shot size of 100 milligrams, right? It's the cheapest way to get 100 milligrams because people are drinking 1 to 3 of those. And those consumers have been doing it for probably 10 fucking years. You don't hear any crazy. I've never seen a news story of someone being too high that some shit happened because they drank 100 milligrams, right? Like I definitely get it to your consumer that doesn't do cannabis. 100 milligrams is definitely going to fuck them up and put them to bed
totally
for like 17 hours. But you're likely not going to. I've never tried edibles before. 100 milligram, you know. I'd hope no bartender's like, yeah, that's what you should take, and they knock it back. I don't really foresee that happening. But it's crazy going to state like I was in Massachusetts. They have a 5 milligram limit per beverage per anything. And so, and that's where I was like talking about, like, I don't really drink soda. I don't really drink, you know, but I like cannabis beverages. And I prefer, I've always said I like syrup forms of cannabis beverages because I can, whether I want 100 milligrams or I just want 40, I can do it in the smallest dose, right? I don't have to have a big 12 ounce fucking soda, right? I can just mix it real light, almost kick it back in a shot with something. But it's like we go out to Massachusetts, I had to drink 20 fucking cans of some CBD seltzer to get to 100 milligrams, man. Like, that's a lot of liquid.
That's
in the opinion a lot.
That's just a lot of liquid. Fuck.
And it's great. I mean, and it's great. Like, okay, if we're gonna do a barbecue and I'm gonna sit here and drink them just like everyone else is drinking beer or something, I get it. And maybe in that setting, but for your average cannabis consumer, I want to make one drink while I'm watching a movie or while I'm in a social setting. Maybe I'll go back for more. But I really I need something potent, right? And it's not saying, again, even I'm a high-end consumer, I don't always need 100 milligrams at a time, but I much prefer to have a bottle that's got as much of it in it as I can, and I can make it, you know, make my own stuff. And with that note, obviously, we were talking a little bit about some of these events that you putting out, you know, mocktail and cocktail recipes. What are some of the recipes that you've been working on, leveraging the CannaLean?
Oh man! So here at in Nevada, the only cannabis lounge we have open is out on the Paiute Tribe. It's the Las Vegas Tasting Room, and they have about 20 different cocktails that they make with our CannaLean. So I mean, they make everything from like banana boat type drinks to, you know, margaritas to everything you can think. Every type of cocktail or mocktail you can think of, they can make it with our beverage because literally it infuses into any beverage. You can take any recipe that you already make a mocktail with and add our ingredients to it and create your own beverage from there. You know, especially just pairing our flavors with specific flavors we have. You know, we've got what did we do last time? The Henderson we did was really good. It was a ginger beer, lemonade, and then strawberry CannaLean, and it's fucking phenomenal. You know, it's just we have bartenders out here who serve up beverages. We have flair bartenders who make them. We're in Vegas, you know. We have the whole presentation with everything to go along with it, so it's fun.
Oh, yeah. Like my favorite thing is the plain Jane and coffee. Like I literally have this on my desk right now. This plain Jane and a cup of coffee. Oh, that's how I start my days, and no one even knows what's going on. Like I be in a great mood. Everybody's listening. Why are you in a good mood? Like I have my coffee.
CannaLean and coffee. Well, that's, you know, cannabis and coffee, right? Have a great mix, man. A great mix. The high from that is amazing.
It's amazing.
I'm alert. That's what I like about it. I'm in a great mood. I'm alert. Like I'm with it.
Man, that's fire. So obviously, you know, I mentioned it too earlier on this. We're all going to be a part of this Hush House event coming in Las Vegas here in a couple weeks. Bless you. After party of MJ Biz Con on Thursday, the 17th. Hush from Chicago is putting that on. You guys are the official drink sponsor. We're a media sponsor, so we're all going to be in the building. What are some things that people can look forward to checking out CannaLean there?
Oh man, it's a phenomenal facility. We're going to have the best beverages you could possibly think of. I'm excited for it. Right now. We're working on curating our own a drink cocktail list for it right now. We're going to come to show out. It's going to be a great event. I'm just excited for it.
Hell yeah! What?
So for the Hush House event, we're gonna have some fun different cocktails. I mean, we have a whole bunch of the area we're throwing out. I don't want to give away too many surprises, but it's very exclusive and unique. So we have a bunch of different things lined up for every space that you go to. We're gonna have different types of beverages that you can get in each section. It's gonna be one of the most unique things we've done so far yet for an event. So I'm excited for it.
Excited too, man, but I got to pace myself, man. I got to make sure I see you all early in the night, and stash myself some stuff for later in the night. You know what I mean? I can't be too lean
Hey,
out.
when you see me, just let me just give us that signal. We'll put something to the side for you, bro.
Oh man, so I'll tell you a little secret. So in the first couple of rooms that you go into in the first areas, all the beverages are infused with like terpinolene, linalool, and then CBD and CBG as well. So they're all going to be more uplifting, more social type of beverages, more than something that's going to make you sleepy. So that's, if you are going to grab beverages, I'd say grab them in the first couple of rooms.
All right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll get one of those, and then I'll take a heavier dose, in the evening. We used to throw a lot of events, and I always had the rule, man, like, I ramp up my smoking towards the end of it, right? And my rule, I'm not a big dabber. My rule is never dab. I don't do dabs in social settings.
Like dabs. I don't like dabs. That takes me to the moon.
To the moon. You guys are stronger than me. I can't wait to see some dabs and take them right for everybody.
They have the dab bar.
I am the first one to get to the dab bar and smoke everything.
The dab bar's gonna be at the event too. We gotta highlight that, the Hush House party. We gotta highlight the dab bar. Like, it's gonna be a great event. The DJs, the toys that they're bringing out, it's gonna be sick. I'm excited for this.
I'm excited too. And then Kenny, you reminded me before, so I'll plug it, man. 40 Tons is a sponsor on this. If people out there looking for, if you want to buy a ticket to the event, you can choose to make a donation beyond that. 100% of the donation beyond that goes to the 40 Tons Foundation. 40 Tons, super dope group, man, with what they're doing, what they're bringing awareness to. They're putting on these career fairs, giving Black and brown communities and former cannabis prisoners and those who have been tried for cannabis crimes, understanding and a pathway into the industry, and providing opportunities. And man, they're doing a lot for cannabis prisoners, man. So 40 Tons, always got to support them. Someone's on here talking about where the ship at, man. We can't, we in here talking about the legal cannabis industry. Ain't no shipping, man.
There's always someone trying to get you caught up, man. There's always that one.
We got CBD. You can go on the website, www.CannaLeanSyrup.com /shop. We send CBD all 50 states thanks to the 2018 Farm Bill.
You can get apparel as well too. We got our CBD, CBN syrup, CBD, CBG, CBD with linalool for daytime. It's, any mixture you're thinking of, we got it.
And don't forget, we got the CannaLean swag on the website. It's coming back up this week. We're getting ready for it.
Oh man, that was crazy. So we had just got new apparel, and we went out of town and came back, and literally it sold out within 4 days. It was But that's funny. That's how it goes. It comes in waves. You know, I had apparel up on the site for 2 years before nothing sold, and I was buying stuff and wasting it, and then we buy some new stuff, and then it all sells out. It's just, guys, it's a new industry. It's a new industry that has ups and downs. You gotta learn how to rock with it.
Yeah, hoodies, hats. Don't forget CannaLeanSyrup.com. Always keep saying the site at CannaLean on IG, at CannaLeanSyrup on IG, Twitter. You know, my man One the roster right here. And I'm kidding, Cottrell. You always hit me up. I'm gonna tell you to buy more CannaLean. That's literally my slogan. Is buy more CannaLean. Nothing more, nothing less.
Buy more. And then we also had a couple comments. Someone in there asking about some Washington specific. The youngin, man, just hit me up. I drop my IG on there. Hit me up. I'll give you some recommendations for some Washington brands. I don't want this. We're talking about CannaLean today. I'm not going to highlight some other brands in some other markets. So I'm going to keep it centered around you guys. But yeah, hit me up and I'll put you on to some recommendations out here in Washington. But you know, another question. Obviously, Ross, you rocking the black owned shirt, right? And that's something. And that's something, right, in this space, in the cannabis space, you know, I think it's like only 2% of businesses across the entire industry. It's under that. It's like 1.7.
It's an amount that I would like to change. You know, I'm not going to say it's whatever about it. Let's just work on changing it. You know, we're going to focus on teaching people how to get into the industry. You know, it sucks that they'll never sell low. There's only 3 in Nevada, which is crazy. And from last statistic I heard, there's only like 17 or 19 in the entire country, which I think is, I don't know. It's a crazy number. And I try to be as professional as I can most times, but also show people who I am. I do all my own pop-ups and show my face and try to, just to show people that are real people. You know, there's a lot of corporations who run businesses who will never show their face. You'll never see who they are. You're never going to see the owner. You'll never see them. I am the 100% owner. You will see my face. I show up to places. I will say hello and shake your hand. If you don't like my product, tell me why. And I might listen to you, might probably not. But I mean, it is what it is. But I actually give people the chance to see who I am and see that somebody like me with my skin tone and color can run a company and be successful and do this process and do this. It's pretty difficult, but it is possible. It really is.
Oh yeah, we're actually working on. We went to Morehouse Homecoming where I went to school at last weekend, and we helped out with their Morehouse has a new cannabis literacy club initiative to get more minorities into cannabis, and we're like the big sponsor. That was the main reason we went. And like I said, we've had such a positive feedback from so many young college kids who want to get into cannabis and just asking us how, and it felt good. It felt good because, like, I know we're going there. We've definitely inspired guys. I'm 38. Chris is 30. Guys in their 18, 19 year old who want to get into cannabis, and now they're thinking about, it's now I have to be a drug dealer. I can go into corporate cannabis, which I think it's gonna be. That's another part of the game changing. Cannabis is going to be a 20x multiplier. I'm telling you that. Just because the kind of people who are going to be running cannabis are guys go to your Harvard Business School, Stanford. They're going to be brilliant. Like, it's going to be sick.
Oh yeah, and on that topic too of just like diversity, right? I know that's a big thing that Hush is looking to do with their audience and their platform. Obviously, they're a minority-led group. It's a big part of what 40 Tons is doing as well. What is it that you guys have to say for minorities out there that feel left out, right? These statistics are, I mean, at the end of the day, that they're numbers, but it represents something really real, that there's a severe gap, right? Like all across all racial ethnicities, people use drugs. I don't think they calculate just cannabis, but drugs at like a statistically insignificant rate, right? Everybody uses it at the exact same rate, no matter what your race is, right? But then when you look at ownership in this industry, it's super small. And so that could obviously be, very intimidating and disheartening for a lot of people. So what's kind of your message out there to people that look at those stats and know it's working against them, but got a little couple, tips or pieces of motivation for them to make a way in this space?
Man, that was a good one. That was a good one, man. All right, here we go. I got you, Kenny. Don't ever forget that you're American too. A lot of times as a kid, I was kind of this weird feeling like I wasn't American like everybody else. I couldn't do what they were doing, or I couldn't start a business, or I couldn't. Don't ever forget. They may make you feel like you're not American. You're American too. You have the rights to everything they have rights to. You have the rights to everything. Everything. You can Google anything you want to. There's a document you don't know. You can Google it, and there's sites that can teach you how to learn these documents. You can do anything. I know. They have these feelings that make you feel like you can't, that you're stuck in this little fucking box, that you have to do these specific things, that you have to either entertain somebody or be something fucking. You don't. You can be anything. You are American too.
Yeah, well, mine is we gotta work together. I tell people African Americans, minorities, and any minorities, we gotta work together. We gotta come together as one. So like I'm working with, I met Kay and Vanessa from Hush. We immediately got together as these young minority women. They have some great ideas. Same thing I met Chris. So like we just used to work together. I know you're a chemist. I'm gonna stay in my lane. I'm gonna do some accounting and some financial, just hire the right lawyers and stuff. I'm pretty good at running that. You do your chemistry thing. We gotta be the best at our subject, but at the same time, we have to work together. Make sure like we're not big enough. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I know Kay and Vanessa are like the preeminent event planners for cannabis events. Period. So like working with them or working with the best. I'm not trying to tell them how to do their job, but we work together and we work together to teach each other up. Like I expect to work with them for the next 10 years. Like and same thing going back to Morehouse. I'll be there for the next 10 years, getting more and more people as we grow together. And that's what's important, especially in the minorities in this area. We have to work together. We have to come together. And then the numbers will change because we've introduced more people to the product and especially the business and the scientific side of it.
Man, y'all spitting some great game, great insight. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate you guys coming on the platform. I'm super stoked to meet y'all in person. I know me and Kenny been cutting up on some group calls over the last couple of weeks. Rasta, nice meeting you. I think for the first time, man. And so excited to see y'all in a couple of weeks, man, here at Hush in Las Vegas. Is there anything else you want to plug? I know CannaLeanSyrup.com is the website. Kenny, if you want to say it again, I'll give you the platform.
We got CannaLeanSyrup.com. That's the website. You can go buy some material, CannaLean.syrup/shop. We got CBD, we got merch, we got even a recipe book for you. You can find us on IG at CannaLeanSyrup. Chris is one of the roster. I am Kenny Cottrell. Also, Brandon from Vegas. That's our other third partner CMO of the company. He's probably the most popular guy in Vegas. So don't look up Brandon from Vegas on Twitch, Discord. He's Brandon from Vegas. Enough said. So at the end of the day, we're here to have a good time. That's what we're all about. And like I said, buy more CannaLean.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Well, awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you guys both greatly for hopping on here. This is a North American Weed Tour podcast. We're looking at the best in legal cannabis. Like I said a couple times on this, we'll be hanging out with these gentlemen in Las Vegas live here November 17th. We'll be doing a special live podcast from there. So, you might catch your boy a little bit leaned off the CannaLean, and these guys might hop on and say some stuff when we're live at the event, man. So appreciate you guys greatly.
Appreciate you, brother.
This is the North American Weed Tour podcast. We're done for this week. We'll be back on Monday, Tuesday with some more episodes, and then we're in Chicago next week at the KVL Flower Ball. So follow the